Bean.
We on? We on?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
In the show.
All right. As usual, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. And hey, in some places of the world, good morning. And welcome to Unique Perspectives Love Talk Radio. Yes, you got to speak what's supposed to be, Adam. Morning time, Trinidad, Tobago, all the other
True.
Indonesia, whatever, all over the world. Somebody just want to say, yeah, good afternoon, Chicago, lower South Side. That's
I
it.
mean, I know right now. That's all I know. North side, north side.
That's it. Yes. Welcome, everyone. Please like and share, please, if you so see fit. Like and share, please.
Yes.
All right, let's see. Let me do the same thing as I'm saying this to them.
Because I just did my like and share.
You just did your like and share?
I did my like and share. Yeah, bro.
So let's see. Okay, make sure I got this together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah, man. Ooh. So how was your week been? How you been this week?
Pretty good, man. I can't complain. Everything is good. You can always think of something that you could probably complain about. But I am blessed. I have, let's just say sometimes we have to just count it up to, yes, we are blessed, but some of us are truly blessed off the backs of our parents. I know for a fact the late Cora Dixon, she have prayed for me from, way back when. But anyway, all right. You have anything you want to say to people before we get started? You have your opening, you have your moments where you have your spiritual nuggets of the hour, what have you. This is your time. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what? Oh my God. I mean, look, it's like I'll just say this. I'm looking forward to next week. Next week, I'm going to be traveling, going to be on vacation for a little while. Okay. I am so ready. I'm so ready to go. Yes, Lord. Yes.
Well, we might have to. Will you let me know? We may bother you over there. We may let you be, on your vacation. But either way, the door is always open if the sir wants to point. If he wants to poke his head in, the door is always open.
Yeah. I mean, y'all might see some water. Y'all might see some sand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not against that. Especially, it's going to definitely be warmer than where I am right now.
Yes,
we count on that.
All right, let's get on into it, sir. All right. Now, today's show, we are speaking about that's just my friend. That's a common phrase. We've heard that throughout relationships, marriages, all over the place. People at some point or other time have had a quarrel of some sort over a perspective of someone's friend. So like I said, the topic is that's just my friend. Can friendship with them respect the boundaries of relationship? Can friendship with them respect the boundaries of relationship? So, as I said before, let's get the obvious out the way. Of course, many of us have forged friendships for years, like of the opposite sex. There's somebody you may have worked with that you are cool. You would go to lunch sometimes, or you would laugh and joke at the water cooler, or what have you. Someone in your prospective places of worship that you may think is cool, or you sung in the choir with them, or you grew up together, all those things. Or just in the native world, people we grew up with, people that I've heard stories of people that maybe had the intention to initially date, but did not. Maybe for whatever reason they didn't date, but they decided that perhaps we're better friends than trying to date. So you have that route. And then you have the more, the more questionable situations where people have been in full-blown relationships, the kind that go from A to Z, if you get my drift, from the grown folks world. They've been through the gambit of everything. Right. And once the relationship ends, even if it ended rocky, somehow, some way, someone circles back and that connection happens. And then all of a sudden you say to yourself, well, we can be cool. We can chat. you can text me, I can text you, all of those things, and we make it seem as though it's cool. Right. Now, to take it even further, in the marriage realm, I've had friends that had real thick issues in the household because one person or another had a particular friend that was a little too chummy for one person's liking.
Right.
So the argument, this was the guy that was at the time, there was the guy friend of mine, and he was talking about his wife being too chummy with the person that he let her know it made him a little uncomfortable.
Right.
So the common response that we hear around is, well, look, these are people that I knew before you. These are my legitimate friendships, right? There's nothing, we've not been intimate. We've always been cool. Well, this person, the guy says, but it does make me comfortable. The wife says, why are you being insecure and jealous? Don't you know that I'm your wife? That was her response to him. Why are you being insecure and jealous? Don't you know I'm your wife? So he was in a real pickle about that. Mm-hmm. And that's one of those things where I've seen them even go, that particular couple years ago, they're not together now, go figure, but they went to counseling. They went to counseling and the whole bit about just different things. Yeah. I don't know if the marriage situation was because of that friend, but it ended up not going there, right? But nonetheless, just to say that's a touchy thing. So I guess when I'll bounce this back over to you, the question we should all say, and this is what came to mind to me. If the goal of most relationships, or if we hear of people that are in marriages, the first thing you'll hear someone say, I married my best friend, or this person is my friend. We're close. The best relationships are the ones that start as friends first. You hear those things, right? So my question to people are, if your person, meaning your spouse or your relationship partner, is your friend, then if there's an alternative person outside of that union that's also a friend, then do we see that as an equal threat or no? Do we see that? I mean, because if you're saying, think about it, friendship is the roadmap to get closer if you do it in the right perspective. It's the roadmap to be closer. The more comfortable, the more you find out, the more laughter, the more in common you discover, the more cool you get. Like, make no mistake about it. The reason your partners and or your spouses connect with other people is because there is a connection point that we get along well at. Whether that person is fun. Oh, I like to go have a drink with this person. Oh, this person he'll do sweetest thing in the world. He'll do anything for you. I love him like a big brother, right? Mm-hmm. Or big sister, what have you. Right. But the other person is almost always left saying, all right, this doesn't jive well with me. Doesn't make me feel comfortable. So yeah, on that note, you talk.
I mean, that's an interesting thing because so because everybody has connections outside of their main relationship, whether they're married or involved with somebody. We have connections to other people. I think when it comes to the aspect of being friends with the opposite sex, that's where it gets a little sticky, a little complicated, a little, I don't know, unusual, because I think for most of us, if you have a friend outside of, like I said, your relationship or your marriage, it's gonna be a little sticky. I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be a little tricky. Yeah. Now, here's the thing that there are several elements to this thing that you have to consider. I think one of those things is the stability of your relationship. Is your relationship able to handle having someone else outside of your main relationship, where you have another relationship? Now, that relationship, hopefully, ideally, is a platonic relationship, which means there are no romantic interest, there's no sexual interest. This is just a platonic relationship, almost like I guess I would kind of like equate it to a work relationship. Mm-hmm. You have your work associates who you go to work with every day. You're contacting them, you're communicating with them, you're getting stuff done, and you may or may not go to lunch with them occasionally. Okay, yeah. You may or may not, maybe after work, go to a dinner thing or something like that after work. But again, I think it's going to be dependent upon the stability of that relationship. And when I say stability, what I am specifically talking about is whether or not the partner within that relationship feels secure and trusts you. Because if that relationship is not able to handle it, if you are in that relationship and that other person is feeling insecure about your outside contacts, your outside connections, then it's going to be an issue. It's going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? Do I necessarily believe that we can have relationships outside of our marriages, outside of our relationships, where we can be friends with the opposite sex? Yeah, I actually do believe that. Now, here's the again, I want to make this point, but if my significant other does not feel secure enough for me to have an outside platonic relationship, then that's a no-go, because I'm not going to jeopardize my marriage. I'm not going to jeopardize my main relationship for somebody who is just platonic.
So, is that a across the board statement as to whether a person is legit insecure or not? Like, if it doesn't bother, like if it's, sometimes people will make the arguments, oh, I'm not dancing around because of your insecurities. Get over yourself. So is that something that we do, period, whether your person, if they're just uncomfortable, whether you like it or not, is that preferred?
Again, you want to, I really do believe that it's important that, again, if you are in a relationship, and I'm going to even specifically more make it focused on the marriage aspect of it. If you are in a marriage, I don't want to sit here and make my wife feel uncomfortable with the connections that I have outside of my marriage. Why would I do that? Why would I threaten the thing that I love the most for something that just came along?
Wow.
That's not as stable. That, again, is a platonic relationship. Why would I jeopardize that like that? Again, I'm not saying that you can't have friends outside of your marriage that are of the opposite sex. What I am saying is that why would you do that if your person doesn't feel comfortable with that?
Yes.
I think that's a recipe for disaster. That is something that is going to bite you in the butt. I guarantee you don't want to do that. That's not what you want to do. Now, me personally, my wife has friends. She has work friends or whatever like that. I'm not sitting here losing my head over something that doesn't threaten me. I don't feel threatened by that. That doesn't threaten my relationship, my connection with her. But that's me.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That's me.
That's you.
I can't speak for everybody else in terms of what that relationship would be. That's me. You have to decide how you are going to handle if your person has a connection outside. And please, by all means, communicate this to them. Don't sit there and let them go out there and do this, and they have no idea that you feel a certain way about them having friends outside of your marriage.
Yeah. I've heard it a few ways. I've been in prior relationships where I've heard people discuss like what the marriage picture would more or less look like. And I've heard the comments, well, there is no such things as having friends if we're not all friends. Like, people are saying, in other words, if you have this, let's just use you, if you have this close friend, Adam, then I ought to be able to meet this person, and we can, maybe I'm not going to be as connected as you two, but it should be a cordial, open circle. It shouldn't be something where, okay, me and so-and-so are going out for a few hours and I'll see you when we get back. You get my drift. It should be an open thing that your person has the option, right?
Right. It absolutely should be, because of the fact that, again, if you've got this friend, then they should be able, your significant other, your partner should know that you have this friend. Again, here we go. This is dangerous, complicated term. Why are you not disclosing this connection that you have outside of your main relationship or your marriage? Why are you hiding it? Why are you not giving this information out? Why are you omitting this information instead of actually saying, hey, I have this outside connection. This is a friend of mine. I want you to meet this friend of mine.
But let's be honest.
Here we go.
Yes, let's turn the corner. Most of the time, if we're honest, people do this, number one, because they know the reaction of their spouse. And I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's right, but most people, whether it's a relationship or marriage, you already know if you disclose a certain cool friendship that you may have, even if it's strictly platonic in the moment, I should say. In the moment, it's platonic, there's none of that stuff happening. You know, if you mention it to your person, it's just, oh, so what? Hold on. When did that? Wait a minute. It goes into the 10th degree, and then it's an issue. And then people just tend to say, well, you know what? I'll keep that to myself because I don't have time for blah, blah, blah. So I'll just keep that to myself, which begs to differ another part of this whole dynamic that's very important.
Okay.
I believe the reason we forge these relationships beyond our person is because there are things in our person that are lacking, that we're not honest enough to say, that we find in another person. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you now. This has nothing to do with physical stuff. We're not talking about no sex.
I know what you're saying.
But there are characteristics or certain things about a person. Let's just say somebody's outside and they're like, oh my God, you're so crazy. And then somebody will say, oh, you and that person are cool. Oh yeah, we hang out all the time and there's nothing going on. Absolutely not. We're just close. That's always somebody's response. We're just cool. But the reason you're drawn to them is because there is something that you like to do, just regular, that your person doesn't. And so you enjoy it in this person's space, whatever it is. That's why we forge these friendships. People just don't do things to potentially cause ruckus in their house for no reason. There's a reason people do it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so let me put it to you like this then. Are we saying that some of the friends that we have are intentionally sought out after friendships? Is that what we're saying?
Absolutely.
So this is where we're going to split the road on this. We're going to divide on this one.
This is good.
I believe my thing is this. Okay, so I work. Okay.
Yes.
Going to work. You're gonna be friendly with people. There might even be some friendships that develop as a result of you being there every single day. You're all in the same space. You're all in the same room. However, I am not specifically seeking out friendships outside of my marriage. I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm about. I'm not going. That's not. Again, I think you're just trying. You're tempting danger. Okay, you're playing a very dangerous game here. If you are intentionally seeking friendships outside of your marriage,
but the difference to remember is being cordial in a place that you have to work with people, and just saying, "Oh, I'll take some. Oh, you're going to get some coffee. Thanks, appreciate it." That's not a friendship. Friendships are a thing that goes beyond that place of where you met. Friendship means when you go home, the person from work texting you, oh my God, guess what? Bob didn't do what we did. This is after work hours. Oh, we meeting over here such and such for happy hour. Okay. The connection goes beyond the number one place that you are mutually connected in the first place.
Okay.
That's when it's friendship. Just being cordial to someone at work, and I mean, whether you at work, church, out in the street, whatever you do in life, a football game, crew, or whatever, if you see those people in the moment and you all just do friendly things and are cordial and then disseminate and all the communication ceases until you reconnect, that's different. Friendships are ever evolving. People are texting you. People are on your social media. They're connected in your day-to-day world. That's like a friendship. And those are the ones that we need to be circumspect of and be honest. And what I always tell people is this, and this is something we fail to do because the law of attraction between a man and a woman can get deceptive at this part. We all like to think, well, I'm not going to bring this person home. She's a gorgeous. My wife will never let me be her friend, or vice versa. Here's the thing, because that's the obvious thing we think. We think if the person is fine or he's handsome, no way my person will let me be their friend. Okay. But here's the deceptive part.
Yeah.
We don't realize that people are attracted to people for various reasons.
Yeah.
Somebody may not look like you think like, let's just say your person may not look like you. They might say, well, he's not strapping and handsome like me, but something in that other person brings a smile on their face. They laugh. Now they're respectful and say, well, we're not going to go there. We're just friends. But there is an attraction to something about the person, is all I'm saying. We just got to address that. You know,
I'm not saying that that's not a true thing. I think my problem comes in where there is an intent to look for something or a friendship outside of your regular relationship. I think where you have an actual deliberate intent to do something outside of your marriage or your relationship, that's where I'm having the problem at. Because again, if I'm married to someone, if I'm in a relationship with someone, I'm not going to intentionally go and find somebody else, because that to me sounds like you are not necessarily happy in the relationship that you're in.
Well, let's keep it a buck. You want me to be nice, Adam? All right, keep it a buck.
Keep it a buck, bro. Come on, let's go.
People don't, and all the times, people don't just purposely go out seeking them. They just don't do anything once they form. Okay. It's just when that relationship forms, they don't do anything about it but go along to get along. I'm not saying they're going out saying, I'm gonna go sit at the bar, please some new friends show up. I'm not saying they're saying that, but they're not stopping it once it happens.
Now, see, this is where if they're not stopping it, they're making a conscious decision, whether it's unconsciously or conscious. They're making a conscious decision to do something that's inevitably going to end up violating their main relationship.
But you know what I think the problem you potentially, let's just say potentially maybe having, is you have to understand everyone may not regard their marriage in the same vein. Like they could call themselves loving their person, but they may not have the same conviction as Adam, right? Or they may not be, their relationship may have taken several turns of different types of things going on in their marriage that we have no idea about, and they have a different measuring stick as to how they get along. And so to you might be like, what in the world? To them, they're like, oh man, Adam, this is just day to day. It just depends, right? So this is what, come on, stay with me, man. Stay with me. No, I'm with you, man. Understand, but this happens, right? This stuff happens. And so, that's why we're talking about today, because it's a thing where we have to get to the bottom of, if people are going to be honest on tonight on the show, right? I want some people in the comments to kiss me.
Oh, they in the comments, bro. They in the comments.
Listen, if there's a brave male soul, if there's a brave female soul, please say and be honest and say sometimes these friendships are forged because they're comfortable and they're different than what we have. We may like them and it may not be intimate at all, but there's a reason that person is cool with you and you're okay with keeping them where they are unless the problem comes up to the other person, like you said earlier, is uncomfortable.
Right.
Which is why sometimes we don't say nothing about it. We keep it quiet because we know what's going to happen if we don't.
But see, that's again, if you already know what your person is going to do, or you have a slim idea as to what their response is going to be.
Bruce said no.
Right. They in the comments, man. We got to get to these comments. But my thing is, why are you going to jeopardize that? If you already know how your person is and you know what their reaction is going to be, why would you do that?
Okay, here we go. Let's turn. You ready to turn the corner out? Let's go.
Let's go.
Bruce, okay, Bruce, you're up next, Bruce. Here we go. Bruce says, can you remain good friends with a woman you slept with on tonight? All right. Now, using a woman, well, let's flip it and let's say man or woman. Like, since we got women watching, men watching.
Yeah.
Can we legit be friends with someone of the opposite sex that we have dealt with and been intimate with? Because this happens in the marriage realm. Because you hear people all the time, oh, me and my ex, we get along so well since we got divorced. Well, I always will say, well, why didn't you work it out?
Right.
Because that shows that you can work it out. Same thing in relationships. If you are best friends after the fact, it shows someone potentially quit prematurely because you can work it out.
Right.
There's a reason that you saw the friendship differently after the fact than what you could have done if you had been in it.
Right.
But we all do it. We all call it. We got a show in the hopper called Circling the Block. We'll get to that later. But that's what is circling the block. You don't have. Listen, man. Let me tell you. This is a common thing, and I could be wrong, but I have seen women stay probably more than men. Men are probably going to be more honest. If men are friends with someone deliberately that they've been with physically, in that man's mind, somewhere along the line is that potential option of maybe crossing that bridge. Women will say, women have the ability in them that when they shut off the intimate portal, they can close it. See, women can close men can try all day long. You know, I used to love you. Remember how we used to go all on the trips? Yeah, that's good, but we're just friends. And women will be done. Men,
that's true.
This is why a long time ago I made a post. I said women recycle, men reuse. And I said that because women typically will, when a guy comes back around from the past or an old love or whatever, women will, if she's a little bit soft on him, she'll entertain his conversation to see if he's worth the recycling.
I got you.
She'll be like, well, he said, I'm gonna tell you why. You've heard several women at the coffee machine saying, is she back with him? Well, girl, we're gonna see what happened. He said this time it's gonna be different. So this is an example. He said, he's not married to her no more. He's not living over there no more.
Right.
This person, he said he's not gonna be cheating no more. It's just gonna be me and him. Yeah. So women will say, well, if you serious and if you can do this to show me you're consistent, okay. Men, once men leave a woman alone, like once men make a conscious effort to say, I ain't dealing with her no more, the relationship is over. If we go back, it's because we going back deliberately to play. We already made up in our mind that you aren't the woman for us, for our life.
Wow.
But you're not, it's nothing wrong with you physically. So, okay. But relationship-wise, it's a wrap if we're done with you. That's if we're done with you. That's the caveat. If we're not done with you, then those conversations can happen where you could take the relationship to another level. But if we know that you're not going to work for the long haul of our life, then at that point it's just physical.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some of these comments, man. Dion, what's up, Dion? She says, I don't recycle. I put trash in the trash.
Oh my God.
She's not going to recycle. She don't have an extra bin for recycle.
But straight up, but in most cases, now see, that's why I said there are specific exceptions to the rule depending on depending on the resolve of the man or women. Dion may be about that life, but she's like, you ain't coming over here because of this.
Right.
But in most cases, all these guys on this call, if they are honest, they have crossed back across the bridge to someone they've dated before and have gotten rite of passage.
Wow.
Of 1 of 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Come on in, y'all two. Come on in the room, sir. Jay, y'all know we have crossed that bridge before several times over and have been able to go back. Every man know right now someone he can disrupt their relationship right this moment. If you want to go back. So this is just real talk. Dion is just a G about it. But in most cases, it happens. In most cases, women will. I just think, and sometimes women, if they're single, depending on a woman's status, if she's single and if she's, whatever she tried to do before or after that relationship is not working out, maybe she will be open to see what's what. Right. A little more so than a man would. That's all I'm saying.
Man,
look, Brandy said she's done it. See, Brandy keep it a buck. See, that's it. Keep it a buck. Yeah, come on now. Oh, Trish Ross says that's if she halfway like the person. Now we get into the truth, Bruce.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
So this is a great point, Trish. Can we? So just like Bruce said, as a woman, do you think, in a healthy perspective, you can be friends with a past lover? That you guys have dissolved the relationship, But this person said, well, we always like you like a sister to me. We gonna always be bonded for life. Is that healthy for your relationship?
Well, okay, so let's kind of quantify this for a minute. So we're talking about having friends that you have been involved with previously.
Yes.
Are we talking about the current situation in terms of whether you're in a relationship, or are you married, or are you just single? Because I think that makes a difference in terms of how you're going to negotiate this whole thing, right?
Wait a minute, say that again.
I said in terms of understanding how we're going to be friends. If I'm in a relationship or I'm married and I have a friend, I'm calling this person a friend who I used to be involved with, doesn't your status have a determination on how you handle that whole situation, whether you're married or you're single?
True that, but again, let me tell you, can I just be, I gotta tell you this, Adam.
Come on.
I know married people with unmarried friends that they dated before.
Okay.
That is very inappropriate in the relationship. Let's just leave it at that. Very inappropriate things still happen.
Wow.
Right? They marry. I know a woman that does it. I know a man that does it. Wow. They're married, but they have, and this isn't a scenario of an open relationship. They just still have close ties to exes in their life.
Wow.
And what happened is when the rough gets rough at home, then there is the person that they go over there. Heck, the one guy that I knew, he'd be FaceTiming me from the lady couch. And I'll be like, that's not your couch. He started laughing. What you mean? I said, that ain't your couch. That ain't where you belong. That ain't your couch, man. Your couch at home is burnt orange. This couch is green. So the point is, this happens. So this is why Brandy said it. She said sex would be involved.
Wow.
That's just keeping it a buck.
Wow.
Like this stuff happens. So that's why we got to be honest and say, now this is probably like Bruce, he opened up the can, but this is a more serious question. Mm-hmm. Is that if we are no longer with the person, and if we don't have intentions to reopen and fix the relationship, then why are we being friends? Like, what does that say? Does it say there's something about the old, there's a quality about the old person that I really love and I struggle to let go? Mm-hmm. Or is there something intimate that we struggle to let go? Because that's a common thing.
Yeah.
People get along intimately, but not relationally. So when people skip relationships, they miss the intimacy because the other relationship might act better, but the love is not better.
Right.
So it just depends, you know.
Yeah. So it sounds more like to me that we're not almost, but we're using these people to satisfy whatever supposed lack that we feel that we aren't getting out of our main relationships. Yeah, that in and of itself is completely wrong, but I know people do it. Yeah, that's the real thing. People do it, but again, I've always liked to do. I'm going to bring the question down to us as individual people in terms of our character, in terms of our own personal integrity. How are we navigating that in terms of how are we rather allowing that to happen to us? Somebody comes to me from my past that I used to be involved with and begins to make all types of innuendo and trying to come on to me. Guess what? That joint's getting shut down quick, fast, in a hurry. Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and again jeopardize what I have today for what I used to have yesterday. Why would I do that? Why would I do that to me? Because what I have today is far more valuable than what I had yesterday. Because here's the thing, the reason why I don't have what I had yesterday is because it obviously didn't work. Otherwise, I would still be in what I had yesterday. But at some point in time, I made a decision to get out of what I had yesterday so that I can embrace my today and have what I need to have in my life. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
So okay. And that's 100% true. I believe the reason that this happens this way is because when you leave the relationship, let's not forget the big elephant in the room that starts with the letter S.
Yeah.
Selfish.
Oh,
we leave relationships.
The other S.
Now, here's the thing. We leave relationships. If we're going to be 100% honest, most of the times we have already checked out and transition to another relationship while still in one.
Okay.
Right? We don't just one day wake up and say, you know what? I think I'm done after months of consideration and I'm going to go on a dating market. Most times, someone else has already been in our ear,
okay,
influencing our current disdain.
Okay.
Someone's been saying, you know what? I wouldn't deal with that if I was you, Bruce, because I totally get it. Because you know what? Some people ain't that grown. We're encouraging them to come to our side subliminally. So
right.
when you go over to the other side, now you are saying, okay, I'm gonna go on over here. But like they did when they brought Jesus before Pilate, we find no fault with him, right? So most of the time, people will leave the relationship knowing there's no real fault with their ex, but they're over them for whatever reason. Somebody else's grass is appearing more greener over here, so you're being lured over there. But here's where the selfish part comes: you're lured over there, but you haven't totally cut them off. Even though you told them it's over, you're selfish enough to know you have influence still. So you go over there in a relationship, you're with this other person, and all the while you are measuring them. You're with them, but you're saying, okay, they do this pretty good. They have that going on pretty good. But let's see how this compares before I really cut the cord.
Okay.
It's all selfish. It's really what it happens for sure.
So you're comparing the old relationship to the present day relationship. Did I get that right?
For sure.
Wow.
That's how these friendships remain. That's exactly how they remain. You leave the person well enough alone without damaging them entirely. You go up to the other side, but you're cool with them enough to pick up the phone and talk about the new person.
Wow.
We do that all the time. Pick up the phone. I don't even know why I left you. Because this right here, I'm trying to tell you all why you still with the person though. Still over there living in their house, talking to the ex person, telling them you don't know why you left them.
So again, my and I'm going to bring it down to this. And I don't mean to sound like I'm trying to teach Sunday school because I'm not. My thing is this, man. Look, the issue is not with everybody else in terms of what you do or what you decide to do. Your decision-making process, your decision-making mechanism is broken. Because if you really had thought about what you were doing, you would have stayed in the relationship that you were in and tried to figure out what it is that you were lacking. Instead of leaving that place incomplete, inconclusive, moving into a whole new place where you still got open chapters of a book that's not even finished written yet.
But Adam, this has happened to the greater majority of everybody on this call have at some point of a time left the relationship that they knew if they put effort into it, they could have probably fixed. But they did it because they were selfish and wanted to try out something else.
Okay. Well, here's my thing. My thing. I guess my thing would be this. Okay, if you want to leave, then leave. Fine. Okay. Fine.
Okay.
If you want to go, then go. But you can't keep dragging the past with you, man. What are we doing? Why are we still dragging these people? We are literally dragging these people from 15, 20, 22 years ago. Okay.
We're selfish, and most people will not. Only time you see someone completely let someone go and stop dragging the bodies, as Danielle say, is when they feel they have gotten enough of what they desire and they see it happening consistently with the new person. Then they're okay with sending you and cutting your cord and letting you float off to a shore. Trust me, but most people will selfishly keep you in the cut. It's just the truth. So I've learned over the years, people can hide some serious truth, and they'll be with you, committed to you, all of these things, but will still selfishly forge these relationships. Maybe not intimately, but they're keeping people in the cut.
Wow.
For a time such as this.
Wow.
It happens.
So you literally have bodies in freight cars.
Yeah.
Because you haven't let nobody go.
Yeah.
They're all open-ended. There's no conclusion to anything.
Yes.
If the FBI were to conduct a search, your job would be in so much trouble because you have so many bodies in your free car.
Yes.
I'm
telling you. I mean, if you put it this way, it is definitely a disrespectful gesture to someone that you're in a relationship or a marriage with, right?
Yes.
But the things we have to check, the things that we should check ourselves, and that no one's above this, but everybody should check themselves to say, okay, am I in this friendship with this person other than my spouse or person because it's eerily familiar? Is it a comfort zone? Do we have family or children ties, aka baby daddy, baby mama, ex-husband, ex-wife, that kind of thing? You really got to think about that and say, this is what is this going to be able to stand up for the long haul, having a friend when I have a spouse or a significant other? And the reason why I phrase it that way, because I'm of the belief it's hard for someone to give 100% somewhere where they know they have living buffers if they fall outside of their main person. These friends are buffers. You got some of these friends will jump Johnny on the spot and do whatever is needed. Heck, many of us men that haven't been married somewhere before or in a cohabitated relationship situation. Look, many of them men have no idea your utilities were paid by another man. Make no mistake about it. Your rent at some point in time was probably paid by another man, right? Or vice versa. Ladies done paid his car note, his phone bill, an old friend, an ex-person. This stuff happens for real. Yeah. But it shows the state of where we are, because on one side of it, you got the single people vastly desiring to be married. On the other side, you have some married folks that are married and say, you know what, you should take your time and don't rush. There's nothing over here. Trying to get back to the other side. And so in that construct, you have people who are, it's like, how can we in a healthy construct get to where we want to go if we are dragging these extra weight, dragging these bodies? Because that's what it is. If you're dragging bodies, you're not able to perform how you should because you're being fatigued from dealing with so much. You got this one to be on their shoulder. How was your day? You're okay? Well, I'm about to go take the wife to get something to eat. You know how we do. You all right? How the old boy treating you okay? All right, because let me know. I come over there and tighten them up. Oh, these are the conversations that happen, and vice versa. And they're inappropriate, but they happen.
You have to be right. They're totally inappropriate.
They happen.
Not be happening. I mean, I would even venture to say, and this is again my own personal philosophy when it comes to this, I would even venture to say, I question your love for the relationship that you're currently in. I question your commitment. I question your integrity and character as a person. Because if you're ready to do that, if you're doing that while you are married, while you're in a relationship, what kind of person are you really? What kind of person am I dealing with here? Because you are so duplicitous in your dealings with me and with the other person. We don't even know who you are. Who am I dealing with? Are you undercover? Undercover for NSA or the CIA or the FBI. Why are you undercover for real? And we really don't know who you really are, because you are so deceptive in what you're doing. You're so selfish in what you're doing that everything and everybody around you serves you. So that makes me kind of think you're more narcissistic than you are anything. Because it's all about you. I want to have my cake and I want to eat
it all. That's the truth. But now you're talking. This is the plight of the day. In that circle, it's all rooted in the whole selfish theme. It's all rooted there, where it's like survival of the fittest. Look at all the examples that we have of people that come out, the celebrities that, they're all over social media and we're all fawning over their love and, oh my God, I want something like that. Then the next minute we know they're dragging each other. And we in the comments are dragging right along with them, right? It's just this court of opinion that we live in nowadays, that people are like, look, I want love, but I want it to be on my terms. Selfishly. If we want love, even we want that to be selfish.
Right.
I want it on my terms. And if you don't do this and love me this kind of way, we have a problem. I need a supplement.
Wow.
So this is where the friend comes in, the supplement to what you don't do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
And so you oh God. You a serial killer, bro.
But that's why it's so much emphasis on finding you're not going to find a perfect person, right? Nobody's perfect. Yeah. But you need to find the person that comfortably fits your life.
Yeah.
That way, you're going to always have issues. You're going to have people that try to be your friends and all that. But the more you can garner in the house, the less desirable outside the house looks. Well, that's why it's important to find your person that matches with you well, because if you don't, you're constantly looking for that percentage that's lacking. And the more you settle for before the marriage, the more you look for after it.
Right.
To try to meet that. You want to meet that balance, that deficit. Yeah. So that's why it's a thing where it's like it's really like it's more than just a body and going out, as we say, going outside and meeting a handsome or fine chick to be on your arm. No, in this day, I mean, these relationships are obliterating people because we're picking off of looks and what we think someone has.
Yeah.
Rather than, can this person really fit into my system of life? Mm-hmm. As Bruce always say, fit his system. People need to fit your system.
They do.
Together, both, and not just one-sided.
Right.
We need to, do we fellowship well together?
Yeah.
And you gotta just be honest with that. And when you see these things coming up, when you see those things that are flags before you take the plunge, address them. Mm-hmm. Because that flag will become a tombstone if you don't address it beforehand.
That's true.
You got to address it and say, hey, I saw this. I mean, what are your thoughts about that? I mean, I see it, but I see you do it so comfortably. Is that what you like to do? Ask them. If they say, yeah, this is just me, I do me, then you probably need to think about it, because it's going to come up again after I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you got to be honest with that.
And I think one of the things that I was thinking about was just, again, I know we say this on almost every show that we do, but I really think it does come down to your communication with the person that you're with, and honestly talking with them about what's happening with you. I think it's important that we don't operate off of old information in our relationships, that we are constantly updated with new information in terms of who we're with, especially if you're married. I think sometimes we have a tendency to take people for granted that we're married to, and we're not updated in terms of what their current needs are today. And it's not that their needs are changing every day, but if I haven't talked to you in a while, then my information about you is old. I need to talk to you today to find out, what's happening with you today. And here's the issue with the whole friend thing. So the friends that we have, they're updated in terms of what's happening with us.
Yes.
They're updated because we talk to them on a more regular basis.
More than your main person.
Exactly. And see, this is the problem, that we don't engage with our main person as much as we engage with our quote unquote friends. And so our friends have more information about us than the ones that we're with.
Now, here's the biggest trap. The reason why what you just said is the biggest trap is simply because of this. The friend on the other end of that phone, you're not doing life with. You don't have shared problems, issues, kids, bills. You don't have that weight. So the person on the phone is always giving you a light experience. And this is where many of us get tripped, because we think because the experience sounds light that it's better. But as soon as you connect with them, guess what? You're gathering weight. It's a cycle. It's going to happen. I mean, if you get with someone else, they're going to still want to build life. So you're still going to have to gather these things that's going to produce weight between the two of you. And guess what? It can happen again. This time you'll be on the receiving end of it.
Yeah.
So
you gotta remain current with your person. You have to remain updated. Otherwise, the information that you have will become obsolete to the point where your information is completely out of time. You're out of sync with your person. You're not in step with them. And now you are starting to grow apart. You're going to the left while she's going to the right. and it's a hot mess.
Well, you gotta
talking to you,
but you have to be honest with yourself, and you gotta check. And I said this many years ago. You gotta check in with your person.
Yes.
See where you are, just like the iPhones and the Androids do for us. They make you update.
That's right.
So you got to get in with your person to say, are we operating on the same page?
Yeah.
We still are our expectations still the same? Do we have the same goals still? How are you feeling? Am I paying you enough attention? Do you think you're paying me enough attention? And so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And before I get too far on this, Bruce brought up a point earlier, and he said, how do we think social media is factoring in this friend thing?
Oh God!
I think it makes it even worse.
It does. It makes it worse.
You will, and even though these people that you're meeting may not be your true friends,
right? But
they can be falsely resemblance, right? And so, meaning if you see this circle of people all the time, you begin to say, "Oh, that's so and so. They're cool," and you could be in a whole relationship, right? Mm-hmm. But these people that you're garnering on social media, you know, whether it's DMs, whether it's, oh, we're going to be over here, it's invites, they inviting you to this, that, and the other, come over here, we all hanging out over here. It's easy to start fraternizing with the illusion of friendship on Facebook or wherever you're looking, Instagram, whatever. Yeah. So this is a thing that we all fall into if you're not careful. We can fall into.
Yeah. Well, so I think part of that also too has to be addressed in the fact that social media now has become a place where we feel validated because we're getting likes for our post. And it may be that some of us aren't getting the validation from the relationships that we're in, real-time relationships that we're in, like we're getting on social media platforms. And so when we get posts and when we taking pictures and when we doing this and when we doing that, instead of us going to the person that we are with, being validated and affirmed by them, we get it from this artificial, fabricated place of friends that we've never seen before in our life. And once we get that thumbs up, oh, my whole world is made. Oh, people love me. Oh, I got so many friends here, there, and everywhere. When in fact, that same type of investment that you put into that social media platform should be the same type of investment that you put in your real-time relationship.
Yes.
But we have diverted our resources to a place that is not real.
because it gives you an instant IV.
Yeah.
That's why. It's like in the instance, it gives you an instantaneous IV whenever someone who, quote unquote, either they're your existing friend or someone new to your environment. Oh my God, that is so great. You look so nice today. Right. Oh, you know what? That was a great song. Look at that speech you did. Oh, I mean, all of those things come into play. And let's be honest, even though, like you said, they're on in this social virtual experience, but it's still in that experience. It's not like no one else in that experience knows you. Your counterparts and your real friends are looking too. Your family is looking. So to you, it's something. They're giving you something that you may not be getting. And this is why we have to learn how to manage social media better as we compare it to our real lives, because it can take you to a spot mentally.
Oh, it will take you to a spot, whether you want to go or not. If you continue to engage in it on a regular basis, it will definitely take you to that spot.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why the kid is not on social media like that, y'all.
I'm telling you.
I love y'all, but that's why I'm not on that junk. I don't need no.
There's probably one more reason, Adam, you're not on there. So go ahead and say it. I'm waiting.
What reason is that? I don't know what reason you're talking about, bro.
I'm married. No, that's the reason he's not on social media.
That's the reason.
All right.
Even before I was married, I wasn't on.
I'm kidding. I'm just teasing. I know.
Here's the thing, though. I think we have substituted real life, real time relationships, for virtual relationships. I'm so amazed that people fall in love online, sight unseen.
Yeah,
people who are online, sight unseen. You don't know who they are, where they are. They're a daggone prince in Nigeria somewhere, trying to get your money out of your pocket.
It's the power. It's the power of imagery.
Yeah, I believe
images are taking over the whole world. It's just what we are showing you what we want you to see, all of the good of us. That's what we're showing you, every good angle.
Yes.
When we taking these videos, all these things, everything is, we out here, we turned up. They're only showing you the good stuff. So you're left to just deal with all the glistering beauty of the good stuff, but you don't see the bad part of their life, right? You just see what they're showing you. And that's where we like, oh yeah, that person is, I follow their page. They cool. You don't even know them.
Right.
But we get drawn into what we see, the presentation.
Right.
So yeah.
Instead of going to our person, our flesh and blood person, getting their validation, their affirmation, or just having a conversation about what's going on with us and being honest about the stuff that we need to negotiate and navigate so that we can have a better relationship with one another. So I don't always have to go to my friends to get what I need. But then I can go to my person and receive what I need from them.
So here's another thing that's hard that adds to this friend thing. And this is why we need to get a hold of it, which, to be honest, is out of control totally. But I'm gonna tell you why it's hard to wrestle and wrangle in. Do you know somebody could be in a whole relationship, have a friend, they could be in a whole marriage, have a friend or whatever. But when it comes to social media, all it takes is the person to get up on the wrong side of the bed that day. You didn't give them enough love, or you didn't say something enough things right to them. And then what the person do? They go to work. Oh my God, on my way into this place to do this. How am I looking, y'all? And you look really good. You done made your face all the way up, hanging down, or vice versa with men. He fresh to death. Yeah, you know what? This morning I just decided to just throw something together and go out here and do my morning run. You're on purpose. You are garnering attention. So here's the thing to this. Women can attest to this probably more than men, because I personally think when women present themselves a certain way, they get far more DMs than men. And just a great picture can go on for over a month of DM problems. Trust me, if you're a nice looking person or got something nice about you that you can flaunt, when you post a picture, you could be in a whole relationship. You post a picture, and then do you know how much time is given to, you look real nice, love that. Yeah, all the way from Africa. Oh my God, I'm right down in Florida, Miami. Oh, I would fly you out all day long. And then as much as they comment on the picture, don't be a person that's getting 500,000. Because as much as they comment, the more you trend. And so it's almost like mentally the arrogance never turns off. You're constantly you have this comparison of, I'm married, I'm in a relationship, but I get all the love over here. So how do you compete with that? It's hard when somebody can just click a button and now their attention stratosphere has shifted to a whole other place because they're mad at you.
I mean, I got to say, I think we have our values are all in the wrong place. Our priorities is all in the one place. Where we place significance is all in the wrong place. And again, for me personally, I can't speak for everybody, but for me personally, I would rather have real time. Somebody said hands-on relationships. Something that is simulated or fabricated, something that is artificially constructed. I don't, listen. I play video games. I love playing video games, but video games can't replace real, authentic relationships with real people. They can't. And so while we go to these other platforms, social media platforms, to supplement what we have, we need to take a step back and check this for a minute, y'all, because we're gonna end up in a spot where we do not want to be when it comes to having real, authentic, hands-on, real-time relationship with people.
You gotta have those real strong boundary, conversations about boundaries between the two of you, and be honest about, because most people nowadays, look, Bruce is teasing. He says Call of Duty game. So what he says, most people nowadays, one person or another has one entirely different opinion about their activity on social media.
True.
And just sometimes can be a problem if you all don't see it the same, right?
Yeah.
So it just depends. Yeah.
And I would hope that a conversation has already been had or is about to be had and will be continued to be had, that we are defining our borders, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable within the parameters of our relationship. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on Facebook like that. I'm not on social media. Neither is my wife. She plays video games. She plays little, I guess what is it? Bejeweled or whatever the fruit game is, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? And again, I think we really need to begin to understand that nothing else, and I want y'all to hear me really, really good. Nothing else can replace human interaction. Nothing. Nothing else can replace human interaction. Let me go to Sunday school with you on real quick.
Right.
This is the reason why God said it is not good for man to be alone.
Yeah.
So many of us are alone on our social media platforms. We're trying to post this stuff. We're trying to get people to pay attention to us.
Yeah.
It's not good for man to be alone. That is a supplement.
Yeah.
That is a substitute for the real thing. Have a real relationship with your children, with your parents, with your friends. You know what I'm saying? With your spouse.
Yeah.
Have a real relationship with them. Let them authenticate you. Let them validate you and affirm you for who you are as a whole person on today. That's all I'm saying. And he's froze. Am I froze? I can't tell. Oh my God. Charles, are you there? Oh, am I froze? Let me see. I'm good. What happened? Okay, Charles is frozen. All right, Charles. No good. I don't know what happened to my brother, but I think he got froze up. He got locked out and everything like that. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to wait for him to come on back. Come on, Charles. Where you at, bro? Oh, I'm still on. Okay, y'all. It's just me. He got to log out. All right, you guys. Look, it's been good talking to you guys. And again, I hope that you have gotten something out of this conversation. I'm not saying that you can't have friends. Absolutely have friends. Just be aware of the possible pitfalls that can occur in terms of having friends outside of your marriage. Make sure that your partner is comfortable with you having friends. And by all means, live your life. Don't let social media replace that thing, okay? I love you guys. I'm still waiting for him to come back because I can't end the show. He has to end the show on his end. But I hope you guys are blessed. This was a really good conversation. Again, share and like this show with as many people as you possibly can. We want to be an impact. We want to help people as much as we can. We want to make a change in people's lives, one relationship at a time. All right. All right, you guys. God bless you. Appreciate you. Peace. See you next week.
Mhm. I am so sorry, people. Looks like there is some sort of network outage.
Are you still live?
Yeah, I know. So I'm getting ready to do. That's why I came back on to just officially tell the folks. Sorry about that. You already closed out? Did you already close out?
I did, but I couldn't shut down the live because it's
All right,
annoying.
cool. All right, I'm gonna do it now. Hold on a second.
All right.